thinking, how do I get back into this? How do I get back into this? Probably trying to balance some very intense emotions, whereas Handsomeguy thinking, you know, I wonder if where I want to eat is still open after this.
Yeah, he's just working out, you know, when he's going to leave, you know, when he's got his trophy. He can just hang out afterwards.
Will there be enough time to watch, you know, what he wants to watch on, say, Netflix before he goes to bed?
Yeah, Netflix has been down, actually.
Oof.
No, not good. But we are into the next game. Handsomeguy on the Tempo Mage versus GundamFlame's Face Shaman.
Yeah, so GundamFlame realizing that Handsomeguy has to get the win on Tempo Mage now and Malagos Druid. So there's a little bit more context in terms of what he wants to queue up next, basically, to deal with it. Decides that, you know, it's just time to get aggressive, and this is truly the only deck in his arsenal that is a true aggro deck anymore. You know, we tend to see Zoo kind of sometimes qualify, although it's more board-centric and has fallen off, but this is the deck that just comes to get things done. Yeah,
exactly. There's normally very one direct route. I think the only difference in playstyle ever happens is when it's the aggro Shaman mirror, and then you really battle for the board. Very similar to the Zoo mirror, but in this, it's going to be wanting to be highly aggressive. Going to wrestle the board a little bit, depending on Handsomeguy opening. We do see his Babbling Book into Mana Worm, and the Babbling Book giving him a mirror image as well is going to help stall that aggression out from GundamFlame.
Yeah, I was going to say, in terms of what you could have gotten off the Babbling Book, this doesn't necessarily deal with the 3-4, but it really slows down the Totem Golem's ability to actually do anything to the board.
Yeah, and also gives the Mana Worm time to actually build up and become a threat of its own. It's going to be a real boy soon. Be able to start beating up other minions instead of just sticking around at a 1-3.
I think Mana Worm is probably the minion I've heard the most complaints about from pro players in terms of being just terrifying. You see it on the board, and you're just so afraid of how big it can get. And this was even before Tunnel Trog, right? So Tunnel Trog and Mana Worm obviously function very similarly in terms of overall capacity. But,
it's the fear factor of it's a 1-drop as well. It's not like there are other minions. You look at, say, Fandral, for example, that is a minion you have to kill because you're terrified. But that's turn 4. You've drawn some cards by then where it's like Mana Worm on turn 1 is like, oh no, what do I do?
Fandral's a future problem. Mana Worm is a very real problem on turn 1 and plays down the Argent Squire, GundamFlame does, just trying to go ahead and reclaim the board so that he can start asserting his own agenda. Handsomeguy has some choices now. Could just play down the Thalnos, get these spell-boosted arcane missiles, or could draw cards. Decides to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I like the card draw there. He needs to keep ahead. Nothing really... If there was a Frostbolt in hand, then maybe that would change the outcome, as you could stall the Totem Golem and be able to ping it the following turn unless a Healing Totem came down. But I like just keeping the hand size up. But we can see that this Ardent Squire is going to remove the shield and remove it. And this is actually great because this avoids problems along the lines of Flame Tongue, getting great trades with the Rock Biters, all cards we can see in GundamFlame. So really nice play from Handsomeguy, like really quite high level. A lot of players would not just go, oh, I've got, you know, my 3-attack minion to trade into a 1-1.
Right, because of the way Tempo Mage plays, you could get to the point very easily where you're like, okay, I can be the aggressor here. I had the aggressive start. The problem is that Tempo Mage doesn't really curve out nearly as well as Aggro Shaman does, and when you're playing against it, you essentially have to act like it's Zoo. You have to constantly respect the minions on the board and try to minimize that as much as possible. So right there with you, I really like what Handsomeguy is doing here. And he's continuing to just put down these little problems for GundamFlame.
Yeah, and GundamFlame's got the option to put down a big problem now with the 4-mana 7/7 that is Flame Wreathed Faceless. Although I do think they should change the name of that card to just 4-mana 7/7. I feel like it's referred to as that much more often than its true name.
I was going to say, I oftentimes don't know what a Flame Wreath Faceless is, but I am very familiar with a 4-mana 7/7.
Yeah, and we are going to see now with the totems actually surviving, so Handsomeguy couldn't kill the second minion on the board past the Totem Golem. Means he's going to get some value from Flame Tongue. Spirit Claws is going to be equipped, not buffed, because there's no spell power on the board, but being able to chip off that Thanos.
Yeah, and for the first time now, GundamFlame has taken the board, and Handsomeguy is in one of my favorite 5-mana Tempo Mage turns. Do you play Kabbalah Stone?
It's a tough one. It might be one. Oh, God, this is actually kind of rough. What can he do? I actually maybe even think Arcane Intellect with Arcane Blast and Missiles is okay. Try and take out the Flame Tongue. Because if you play Kabbalah's Tome, you're just taking a hell of a lot of damage next turn and just passing initiative over with, you know, for the Shaman to just play more minions, pile on more pressure. But the Flame Tongue is such a threat. You know, look at its 4 damage at the moment it's presenting, and you need to get rid of it at some point, or it's just going to stack too much. You know, for GundamFlame to be able to really just push and pressure out the game.
Yeah, I think whatever he does, it needs to involve Arcane Blast in some capacity, and dealing with that Flame Tongue totem. You obviously can't play down the Drake. You can't play the Kabbalah's Totem. So I think I like your line here of just going for that Arcane Intellect, seeing what you get, but going to take his time on this turn, as this is a very, very swingy turn. This actually could just be the turn, realistically, where he loses his matchup.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This isn't the first time we've seen oh my.
The punish! What is worse when playing Aggro Shaman than 1 Kabbalist Tome? 2 Kabbalist Tomes.
And then we know the next draw is going to be the second Kabbalist Tome that is actually in the deck list itself. And GundamFlame just saying, hey, if you want to play a 5-mana spell that effectively passes your turn, I'll play my 7/7, continue the pressure, and now suddenly Handsomeguy on 14 health. This is a worrying situation for him, and we might see GundamFlame start to battle back for this board.
I think worrying situation is the mildest you could have put it. This is a, oh god, why is this happening? Everything around me is on fire sort of
Yeah,
moment.
I mean, Handsomeguy went for the risky play, and, you know, it didn't pay off quite, you know, frankly, and there we go.
Handsomeguys like, okay, you